Welcome back to Folly Town. My name is Fables. This is the drama draft and who's gonna make the rounds. Mujin is being called out for being a terrible reporter and also sweeping for Deme. Hassan is being blamed for collapsing the entire government of Cuba. Pokimane is streaming Gooner Bait again. Kino Casino absolutely devastated the quartering. Joe Rogan was being silenced by the government. Like and subscribe or Liver King is coming to your house to fight you. You're done for, buddy. First up, we have Mujin doing the exact same thing that got him in hot water in the last drama that he got involved in. Remember the Saikuno thing? He was pretty much the one who kicked all of that off and just kind of destroyed everything single-handedly. Well, he did literally the exact same thing, so let's get into it.
So it appears we're adding yet another chapter to the Deme-related situation. In my last video talking about this, I said it's unlikely that Deme herself is going to keep this going. Instead, it's going to be outsiders fanning the flames and keeping this thing going. And she can thank Mujin for doing just that with his 1-hour YouTube video talking about this situation. And in his self-described objective look into the Deme situation, he includes a fake screenshot of Chibi. He also admits very important details that explain why Deme is a hypocrite, the main reason people are criticizing her, and also on top of that, the main focus of the video, nearly 40 minutes of it, is talking about the plappening and whether or not there was extracurricular activities going on in one of her streams. That is the focus he chose, and people are responding as such in the comment section, thinking that's the reason everyone's talking about this. Pretty much, he's doing anything in his power to run defense for Deme. He has a history of this. If you put a woman into the situation he's covering, he seems to have very biased coverage, and it's happening yet again. In his video, at least the original version of it, he included a fake screenshots from Chibi Reviews, a fake tweet that Deme originally posted in one of her crash outs, where it says, "Went to Walmart today and saw some cute lollies, which honestly made my day," trying to paint him as some sort of a predator. Now, of course, Mujin would have to edit that out after backlash, realizing it was a fabricated tweet. Now, this is the real tweet in question, just to specify. He was talking about a baby kangaroo being held in Walmarts. Now, of course, this was so egregious that even Deme would edit her tweet to remove the inclusion of that screenshot, but Mujin learned literally nothing. Even Deme would call him out in the replies of one of his crash outs on Powder for criticizing him and questioning his bias and his reliability as a narrator. Deme would say, "Mujin, take a step back. What she said wasn't even unreasonable or a personal attack." Personal attack, interesting. "You rage baited yourself in this one. It's fair, in my opinion, to criticize the usage of dangerous predator in the post. You should know better as well. You know what it's trying to imply." And of course, his response to all the backlash was to release an apology video about the Saikuno situation, which he would delete after a week. And he would also kind of coast into the sunset, saying, well, still millions of people enjoy my videos, so whatever. Humble flex, which of course Deme is no stranger to flexing on people on the internet. But also in his pinned comment, he also says that lolly represents underage characters, and he corrects himself saying the technical definition is underage looking characters. It's no surprise that a normie like Mujin wouldn't even understand what he's talking about in a tweet or a fake tweet that he's using to attack someone. And also this guy's head would roll if he actually figured out what that term meant, or he came across a character like Rebecca from Cyberpunk, which is a lolly, which completely crushes his narrative. But that's not too surprising given the fact that just about 2 weeks ago, he had a crash out on Twitter where he was somewhat agreeing with and also trying to dunk on Asmongold over his takes involving Eevee from Stellar Blade.
They really can't help themselves, can they? They're Asmongold's biggest fans. Moving on to more of Mujin being an absolute hypocrite.
So in Mujin's video about the Deme situation, he talks about this video from the internet anarchist, a proven plagiarist who made a video about Chibi Reviews, which ironically enough included a fake screenshot at the beginning of the video, which was also edited out. And when Mujin is describing this video, he describes the high volume of dislikes and negative comments as brigading. His words, brigading by Chibi Reviews, seemingly under his direction. Not genuine feedback to a horrible video that initially started with slander and also followed by crash outs on Twitter by the same person. No, it was all brigading. It wasn't actual criticism, it was all brigading. But when it came to Deme and the reaction people were having to Chibi, anything that came his way in the situation was just backlash because he's a controversial person and he picked a fight and all that. It's a very interesting dichotomy where he's basically saying anything Chibi does is brigading, anything that happens to him is just, well, par for the course. But of course, in the video, he spends the second most amount of time talking about all the stuff that Chibi has gone through, including the situation with his ex-fiance who cheated on him. He goes through the grueling details of all these low moments in his life. And I guess that is his context for Deme's response to his hypocrisy criticism given her art standard, where she brought up that his fiance cheated on him and then she laughed about it. And at no point ever does Mujin talk about Deme's relationship and the fact that she took back a guy that she alleged physically and verbally abused her. Now, nobody was expecting him to bring that up just to get a dunk on Deme. It was because of the hypocrisy, not only bringing up low moments, but low moments involving a relationship. And when it comes to Deme's situation, she has routinely shamed anyone who wants to bring up her low moments with her relationship. Mujin never shares anything about this. This is like the crux of why people are criticizing her and calling her a hypocrite. How can you make an hour-long video and not include any of this? It just shows an incredible amount of bias, and it's incredible to miss. It really is. If this guy thinks he's taking an objective look at the situation, this is a pretty awful way to do so.
Mujin continues to ignore important context, seemingly to protect the image of Deme. I wonder why he would be doing that, probably because he wants to mash pissers.
But of course, when it comes to Deme, another thing he doesn't talk about very much is the apology. He reads the tweet but doesn't really harp on the fact that she calls him a piece of crap multiple times and clearly doesn't feel too sorry, especially given the fact she ran to her echo chamber on Discord and said the apology wasn't even for Chibi in the first place. But he also doesn't bring up her history of hypocrisy when it comes to accountability and genuineness and apologies, which she would launch against people like Cinder, mocking her attempt at accountability and apologizing, saying it's not genuine and that you need to basically do better, right? It's incredibly hypocritical. This response would be a great response to her apology or non-apology to Chibi. So instead of focusing on the main criticism, which is the hypocrisy, he spends about 40 minutes of his video talking about the plappening. And guess what Mujin does? He sweeps for her. He does the same thing. He focuses largely on this. And it's reflected in the top comments talking about the getting railed on stream part is a litmus test for the terminally online. That is the majority of the comments. They're talking about that situation, not the hypocrisy, because the hypocrisy was never given to them. And that was seemingly intentional. How else do you explain this situation? And also, just look at these comments. He's an ICE supporter. That's all I need to hear. Oh boy, the virtue signaling is very strong in this comment section as well. But of course, Mujin would post this onto Twitter and he's getting absolutely bodied. There's proposed notes and he's getting 300 likes versus 300 comments. And almost all of the comments are dunking on him.
The situation gets worse as the aggressors against Chibi reviews come out, and the comments are just as insane as you'd think they would be, because we are dealing with violent leftist freaks after all.
Public stoning of Chibi reviews when we don't need dudes like him in this world. The next one saying the fact that Chibi genuinely believes he deserves to live is crazy. Another one saying, I'm gonna be so real, the second Chibi said he was pro-ICE, I stopped feeling sorry for him. So I guess they stopped feeling sorry for him for being cheated on, nearly taking his life, his brother's grave being targeted. They felt no more empathy for him the second they found out he supports a law enforcement agency. Like, January called, it wants its virtue signaling back. But here's some more saying, I don't know this Chibi person from a hole in the wall, but if I was one of his fiance's friends, after seeing this dude, would side with the fiance too.
Mujin was caught editing a video with a fake tweet on purpose in order to rile people up on the internet against Chibi reviews. It doesn't matter that he edited and deleted it. people are still going to run with that narrative because they are absolutely insane.
Now, the confusion started because not only was the video edited, so people didn't really know what was included in the removed portion of the video, but given the second edit and this fake tweets that Deme had briefly tweeted about chibi reviews, seeing cute lollies, which was not in real life, which was not what actually happened. He was talking about a baby kangaroo in Walmart. People put 1 and 2 together and thought it had to do with this post right here. But it turns out it was actually comments made about this tweet, which is a fake tweet from Deme that was making the rounds on social media. Essentially, Chibi had made a few tweets, some of which are now deleted, where he was asking if this was real. And if it was real, it would look really bad. Which, yeah, I mean, if it was, that's like a fair question to raise. He wasn't claiming it was true. And as I covered in my previous videos, this is almost certainly fake, right? There's no archives of this. And I said, don't spread this around because, well, you're painting a fake narrative here and don't stoop to Deme's level type thing. But of course, people are running with this narrative that somehow people getting this wrong completely debunks everything. But we do have the actual original clip that was edited out. And honestly, it doesn't really help anything that Mujin is trying to claim.
As this was happening, Chibi would tweet this, saying, "Hold up, is it true she's deleting tweets to hide evidence now? This all could have been avoided if she didn't double and triple down. My mask off ability is stronger than ever." So here Chibi would be referencing another allegation, the fact that she was deleting posts about her boyfriend's past behavior. In this post made in October 2025, Deme would say, "It has been brought to my attention that my partner had an incident where he essayed someone close to me. He's changed since then, and he's gone to therapy. I know this sounds bad, but people aren't defined by their past, people can grow." Chibi would have something to say about this. This all started with me calling her out for hypocrisy. If this is true and she's deleting these tweets, it's nuclear level bad and a big yikes. I actually am concerned she has Stockholm Syndrome at this point. This is horrifying. As this was going on, he would do something that he always typically does whenever there's a conflict or drama surrounding him, which is post a screenshot of his stats. As this was happening.
So as you can see, the post he made related to this was asking if it was true, and if it was true, it would be a really bad look. But notice how Mujin ended that portion of the edited out section by saying, of course, Chibi, when facing a bunch of controversy, would flex his wealth and his stats on Twitter. Doesn't that sound familiar? This was something that Mujin did not touch upon. Deme, in this situation, when facing a bunch of criticism for her hypocrisy, she would flex that she's buying a Rolex, which is even more ironic given her hypocrisy just hours before, mocking people for farming Twitter engagement because they're poor AF. Which then again, this is kind of the same attitude that Mujin has. So this was his follow-up to the whole pinned comment situation, saying, there's this really funny narrative going on that I showed a fake tweet from Chibi in this video and then edited out after upload for damage control. If you actually watch the video, you'd see that around 28-26, the fake tweet is still there, and in the video I go through the trouble of explaining that it's false. What I did edit out was a tweet at 49 minutes by Deme that was posted by someone else. It turned out to be fabricated, so I removed it. Multiple people pointed that out after the upload. If you want to criticize the video, at least bother to watch it first. Anyway, thanks for the free marketing. Oh, geez. Just like his previous post promoting the video, it's not going well. 500 likes, nearly 200 comments. But you can see him saying over and over again, if you watch the video, you would know what happened. Well, the problem is you edited the video. It's truly becoming a pattern of behavior for you. You know, people aren't stupid and can see with their eyes, right? Their special eyes. Well, yeah, people can also see that clearly Mujin likes Deme. We can see some of the logs of him interacting in her streams, even saying she's his favorite streamer, which whether or not that's supposed to be taken literally, he clearly has a pretty positive view of her, despite the fact that she kind of flamed him on Twitter during the Psycho situation. But that's really the reflection here.
Hopefully that will conclude this situation, because honestly, I'm tired of this name Deme. I want to move on to talking about another VTuber. There's got to be somebody getting canceled right now. VTubers are degenerates. Moving on to Hassan Piker. He went on vacation and virtue signaled in Cuba, and then 3 months later, the entire government collapsed and reformed. Coincidence? I think not.
Hasanabi visits Cuba. They abandon economic socialism 3 months later. What did they mean by this?
Next up, we got Pokimane being a disgusting freak for views and money and pretending that she's not a degenerate.
It's only a handful of months after Hassan's departure and his push for communism, Cuba's gone the entirely opposite direction, pushing for free market reforms, which has resulted in Piker being mocked once again. The trip was already a disaster for him, and somehow it just got even worse. Here's the specifics as Cuba begins its largest economic reform since the 1959 revolution. The country's parliament unanimously approved radical reforms that provide for the privatization of a significant part of the economy. The plan provides for private real estate development, the creation of private banks, the transformation of some state enterprises into commercial companies with shares, and the easing of restrictions for private businesses. The turn towards the market was supported by the Communist Party and the country's former leader, Raul Castro, against whom the U.S. recently brought charges in connection with the downing of humanitarian aid planes in 1996. Now, of course, it's absolutely reasonable to remain very skeptical of the regime, but nevertheless, this is a pretty hilarious update regarding the Hassan Piker part of all of this.
The first thing she does when she puts on her wig is attempt to get other streamers to thirst over her. I want to remind you that this is a 30-year-old woman. 30-year-old woman. The first thing she does is put on a Snow Bunny cosplay and try to thirst trap a black man live on stream. So let's talk about this good, wholesome content creator. With the sex music on the background is just about the weirdest shit I've ever seen.
Yo!
Are you okay?
Nah, I'm good. Are you okay?
Yeah, I dyed my hair. Do you like it?
It's a good look. What made you want to go?
Bro, this is the weirdest shit I've ever seen. I swear to God, I'm gonna vomit.
Just for fun, testing out something new, you know? Why?
No, I'm just like, I saw it earlier.
How do people watch this? Dude, I'm gonna be sick. This is so fucking weird. This is so fucking weird. No, we're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this. Bro, this is the most hypocritical slop streamer I've ever seen.
I'll be honest, I like it.
You hate it?
No.
Think I look terrible?
No, I didn't say that. I think it looks great on you.
Fine, I'll just shave it all off.
No, could you remove the hat?
Never ask someone to remove their hat. You don't want to know what's under.
People ask me all the time.
Okay, wait. Let me fix it. Wait. Let me fix it. Let me fix it. I have hat hair.
Yeah.
It's not bad, right?
No, yeah, it compliments.
I need to know who's watching this shit.
I think.
You think?
Okay, what do you want me to say? Like, if I overly compliment you, people are gonna say, "Oh, look at Asian." And then obviously, so I can't do that.
We can, like, girls and guys can say nice things to each other without it being flirty. Let me tell you right now, okay?
Okay, then you look spectacular. That is a good look on you. You should rock that for like 2 weeks and then go back and then see if you like which one more. And then, you know what I'm saying? Boom, you got a permanent look.
Okay, but you right now, do you prefer the blonde or the darker?
I already forgot what the darker looked like, I'll be honest.
Okay, short-term memory loss, you should get that checked out.
No, like I wasn't analyzing your hair before.
What type of weird fuck tries to goon bait their friends when they're already in a relationship with their Asian neighbor?
Now you're asking me about it, so like I'm analyzing.
Oh, so you're saying I looked invisible to you?
No, I'm saying like I'm not that observant of a person usually.
That's not a good thing to admit.
No, but it's like my brain. Oh, okay. Okay, what you want me to say? Usually I'm not analyzing. Can I ask a question out of ignorance?
Mm-hmm.
What happens if somebody pulls the hair? Like if somebody pulled your hair, what will happen?
Oh my God, these grown-ass people making sexual innuendos to each other on stream, bro. This is just so weird. This feels like, dude, this feels longer than the Lord of the Rings trilogy. This feels like 18 hours.
Would it like hurt your scalp or would it damage your hair underneath?
So because this is just a wig, it would just come off. But that's different than other hair extensions and things of the like, right?
You could work out in that or not?
In which case that would hurt. Pardon? Would I work out in it? No. I'd be so uncomfortable. No.
I don't know anything about this world. And also, you have a splendid perfume collection, I have to say.
Thank you. Thanks for noticing. It's my favorite thing ever.
Okay, alright, well, good luck on your IRL side quest, and...
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll hit you later.
Bye.
This is where content's at in 2026.
Now that we've got the boring stuff out of the way, this is where it gets weird.
Tradwife. I have to go milk my cow. Oh, her udders. They're so plump today.
Thank God she lost followers for doing the stream. Botted as fuck, by the way. Thank Christ Pokemon is losing followers. Holy shit.
If you saw me on the street, would you recognize Pokey? Okay, hold on.
Don't do the other? What's the other? I can't. It feels like I'm on a Zoom call with like my 12-year-old daughter showing me a new outfit. Like, I'm good, bro.
Now that that's over, moving on to one of my favorite stories. Jeremy Hambley of The Quartering. He tried to strike down Kino Casino, but instead he himself lost everything. You love to see it.
It's Juneteenth 2026. What a glorious day for Jer to fall. It's fucking over, buddy. And it's a sweet, sweet, sweet victory. Yeah. Let's go!
Let's go!
Let's go! Everybody dance on
everything.
Jer's grave! He had to sell the NES collection! He had to sell the Neo Geo collection! He had to sell the Funko Pop collection! The arcade! The claw machines! The precious claw machines! The RC cars! All sold, Andy. Every single RC car.
Now that's an
which most
RC
of them
nightmare.
We're still in the box, having never been touched by his own admission.
Oh, no!
All of it a massive waste that he all had to sell at a loss. The RC car track. The $15,000, $20,000 RC car track, custom, like a mile long, with its shipping container, which was air conditioned with electrical outlet, washroom hooked up inside this shipping container, tens of thousands of dollars poured into it. This was the crown jewel of the Jerpire.
Jeremy Hambley is losing his dirt track that he made, that he spent $10,000+ on, that he said he wasn't going to get rid of when he was downsizing. This is what suffering feels like.
His hubris personified, made manifest into one grand project, is being bulldozed.
Bulldozer!
This week, it's getting bulldozed, buddy. The bull himself is dozing this motherfucker into a heap of rubble because, by Jer's own admission, he is downsizing. He's having to sell that home.
And the vacuum.
That beautiful. He sold his vacuum. He's vacuumless. It's now to the point where Jer is having to sell his vacuum. That's tough.
Jeremy is losing everything, including the house that he had built, that he came up with the blueprints for. It was basically his dream home.
The for sale sign is being put up at Casa de Jer, at Mansion de Jer, 8,000 square foot, and now he's moving to a house the size of a double wide trailer.
No!
Only 1,500 square foot for Jer. There's no room for arcade machines.
Was it worth it?
No room for his complete NES collection. His 50 arcade machines, 40 claw machines, his RC cars, nothing. He has to live like a normal person in a 1,500 square foot home.
He had
a punishment worse than death.
He had
really.
Every NES game complete in box that he had to sell to some guy
Had to sell
in
it all.
in a lot.
He sold it all in a bulk. a bulk lot to a collector who just salivated
Like
at
bought
scalping
it at 30%.
Jer. You know what Jer's excuse was? Jer's excuse was it was too stressful having to check the prices of his games.
Jeremy is coping so hard that he actually thinks that he is a Buddhist monk now. He got felted so hard by Kino Casino it actually completely broke his brain.
Jer, after being felted by us, felted by Venti, by Ron Flurgandy, by all the A-logs, the whole crew, Yellow Flash, Friday Night Tights crew.
Like,
There's so many. Luther Morgan. It's like, there's so many
Academy
people.
Award speech.
Stuttering Craig. I'd like to thank the Academy. I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I want to thank Ma, Dad, Uncle, Meemaw, whoever the was responsible for helping make this shit happen.
Jeremy Hambley has absolutely no money left. He has nothing saved up for retirement. Millions and millions of dollars lost.
So he checked his retirement account after that and realized he couldn't retire.
What?
So that's what he admitted. That's what he admitted. His own words. His own words.
Did someone torture him for this information?
No, he gave it all out for free for no good reason. Like this whole live stream never had to take place. I don't know why he did this and why Melanie Mack didn't say stop, we don't, shush.
Now he's decided to tell the world that he has no guns, even though he was crying about being harassed in real life.
He's gunless! He's given up his right to bear arms! He's bowing down! It's tough! He's defenseless! Jared letting everybody know that his home can't be defended! And apparently when he's being stalked and harassed, but he's letting us know he's selling all of his firearms! It's tough! It's tough, buddy! Oh no, he's unarmed! How long until the Rolex watches go? I'm pretty sure
those are gone.
I think they're already gone because he's
gone.
saying he needs to fill his retirement account because there's apparently at the age of 44, 44 years old, not one red cent.
How though?
In the retirement account. How did he f up this badly? Millions and millions of dollars came and went, slipped through this man's fingers. He burned it all. He earned it and he burned it. Jer, get buddy. Everybody was right this whole time. You've admitted we were right this whole fucking time. But you know what? He still tries to delusionally spin this shit and say that it means that he's not broke. Because Jeremy Hambley, a man who his entire life, the man-child is correct, the man-child, who has been defined his entire life by not what he does, but by what he owns and what he possesses, has now magically had a complete 180 on his whole life philosophy and has become a Buddhist monk who believes that possessions are a bad thing and that one must free them. I'm not kidding.
Go Buller!
I'm not kidding. This is actually what he's saying.
Buddy, just 2 months ago, he was bragging about the fucking collection. Remember?
So now he's a holy man. I know. He's a holy man that's reached enlightenment. And now he says his possessions no longer possess him. He's a changed man. All of this stuff was stressing him out. It was giving him anxiety. It had nothing to do with any sort of financial pressures, any sort of his revenue falling off because his channel is dying, he's basically dead, he's on life support, right? Had nothing to do with that, guys. It was just that all this stuff was stressing him out. Now, it didn't stress him out for the last decade that he had all this fucking bullshit. In fact, he loved his shit. Oh, no, I'm not broke. I was just stressed looking at my RC track. No, you piece of shit. No, you were. I was looking out the window and I saw it every day and I never used it. That's why I'm bringing in the bulldozer and wasting even more money.
Moving on to Joe Rogan being silenced by the government for saying things that turned out to actually be true about the vaccines and COVID, and he celebrates the fact that Spotify isn't an American company, so they weren't affected by American censorship. Like, what the fuck are we doing here, man? What the fuck are we doing? I thought this was America. Is this not America?
The position that I was in during the COVID thing was very unique. It was almost easy for me because I'd gotten such a head start. I was so far ahead of them. They didn't realize that my ability to say, wait, this doesn't make any sense. Like, none of this makes any sense. And also, why am I green? And also, why are you guys lying? Why are you lying about all sorts of different things? Why are you measuring troponin levels when you're talking about myocarditis and not the actual scans of people's hearts when you realize like young people are getting legitimately up from this vaccine? Not all of them, but some of them. Why aren't you looking at that? How come you guys aren't looking at vaccine injuries? You're trying to gaslight us into thinking that doesn't make any sense? I was in a unique position to be able to do that because I had almost like quietly snuck up to this and had this large audience that they weren't aware of. When it happened, it was just like I couldn't do anything other than what I did. I had to just keep doing it the way I did it. And the blowback was crazy. They tried to crush my sponsors. They organized campaigns. There was PACs involved. There was
really?
Oh yeah. Thank God I was on Spotify. And thank God Spotify is not an American company. You try to silence something, you're just going to make it bigger. If they had kicked me off of Spotify and I had to go to Rumble, it would have just blown Rumble's stock up, and it would have helped everybody.
I didn't know that there was that much going on in your life.
I can't even talk about it. But there was presidents involved and former presidents involved that were contacting Spotify. Oh yeah, trying to get me removed for vaccine misinformation that turned out to be right. Not a single apology from anybody. Not a single retraction. Not a single mea culpa. Not a single we were wrong. And I lost a lot of sponsors. I lost a lot during those days. It was interesting. There was a time where it was working.
Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, times are a-changin'. The truth is coming out. Subscribe.